All right. Hello. Today I'm gonna try to build a dropdown for the. At some point I've already had that running or working with a past like abstraction. So it's mostly a matter of getting all of the relevant stuff to work again. And I think, yeah, shouldn't be too much of a problem. All right, so first, we want to be able to have iterable list content, such that, yeah, which we've had at some point before we made some changes to list content, the trait itself. Mostly before it had params, so we'll try to make that work again. Now, I think this time I'll put it in a separate module here. Just call it iter. Right. Let's maybe not copy too much. Right. Then we're gonna use super star. Now let's see what we have. This previous implementation. Right, a struct where, yeah, right. Let's just make it maybe this time without actually specifying the constraint here. Right. Then we want to implement flex content for I where I is an iterator. Now we need some E, which is a widget. Where item is E. I think that should work. Right. Missing, but such an, right there. What we have now is state. No, params. So I guess we also need params. Oh no, this is a bit more complicated. We need not just, we don't actually want the item to be a widget, we want the item to be I guess a list content. Yeah, we need to pass the params somehow, unless they would be passed yeah, let's just make that or a flex content. I guess we'll have to call it flex content here as well. And then P, right, it would have to also be a flex content of P. Right. Now we have missing items. Right, can we? All right. So state is what does state need? Flex content state. So we need a dedicated struct. So iter flex content state, I suppose, and we'd need just some t. Maybe this is unnecessary to have a field here, but or to have a named field. I guess a vec of t. Let's just look what we did last time, but I think it should be pretty much the same. Right, it was called widgets back then. Yeah, just a vec of. Right, there was state and the bool. Well, now this will work differently. Now we needed to actually be able to accept. Right, we need to store the state and also be able to access it through the iterator. Like to access the widgets through the iterator, or I guess the other list contents through the iterator, and combine them with the state, which will be a bit nasty when it comes to like unwrapping. That's like a problem with the current widget abstraction. Right, so here we have state, which gets reduced with build and updated with update. But if we have widgets like the or widget, which can be any of a number of variants, then like here it'll obviously create the right variant, and here it'll make sure to either update, if it's the same variant still, update that, and if it's not, switch it to the right variant. But with all the other methods, you basically need the assumption that they match, right? So these will all contain a bunch of like unwraps and so on. I have some ideas about changing the abstraction to solve that, but yeah, I think it won't be a huge change. I think it's more important to make some progress otherwise, so I'm not just always stuck trying to find the perfect abstraction. So for now, that'll mean like we'll need to, when combining the iterator and the vec, we'll need to like assume that they're the same length, or like if the iterator is longer, just ignore any extra items or stuff like that. Yeah. Maybe some unwraps, but yeah. Hopefully, I mean, it's better than, I think some unwraps here are better than like just ignoring or rendering nothing, because yeah, you want to know when, like, when render gets called, if like there's a mistake somewhere and you call render before updating, then that's obviously a bug. So it's preferable to crash than to like just like do something to keep running, but something that's like never desired. Obviously, it would be better to have some way of ensuring it in the type system, but yeah, sort of working on that. I have some ideas, but yeah, it'll be somewhat complicated. So I'm just moving forward with the current abstraction. Right, so state will be flex content state of e state. Right, so we need to impl flex content state for t where we don't actually need to constrain t to anything, because the new function will just return an empty vec. Right. State right. So now we wanna I guess now the question is, what exactly do we do? Right. Some looping, probably. For I don't know, item in self dot iter. Now, does it need to be cloned though? I guess. Wait. Oh yeah, that worked like fully differently. So right, so we can't actually like take too much inspiration. Sure, it needs to be cloned, so then we can clone it. Now, we want a handler dot, no, we don't actually want a handler dot anything. We'd want to be like item dot all params is just params. State will have to like fill if necessary, and handler is handler. Right. Let's maybe get rid of this. So now this will be right. State is wrong. So let's maybe item. We call like either we get a vec of an iterator of the state vec, and then like get items from that, and if it's done, append new ones, although that'll probably be an issue with borrowing. Or we do something like enumerate, and if state doesn't have that item, we just push and assume that like it's the next one or something like that. Yeah, I mean, enumerate. This implementation doesn't need to be perfect since I'm gonna change it at some point anyway. Like my plan right now is to just make the basics here work, like the iter thing and some other things, and then like most of the stuff will be in higher level widgets, like with stateful widgets or so, or something like that, or just functions. And yeah, that means like all of those shouldn't need to change too much if the widget abstraction changes. So only like the fundamentals like containers will need to change. So yeah, this implementation is fine if it's like a bit weird or I don't know, not optimal performance wise or something. Another thing that's like maybe not optimal with iter right now, or I think we'll just need a second variant of it, is we will need at some point need a variant with where you can provide keys. So instead of storing it in a vec, it'll be like in a hash map or something, the state, and yeah, so then you can like reorder and the state gets assigned not based on order but based on the key you provide. So yeah, that'll be nice or needed. Yeah, I think most like in Vue that's a concept, and I think in React probably as well. Yeah, like when you need to match states, that's sort of needed. All right, let item state. All right. I guess we go item. No, index first. Right. state dot not dot get dot state. Yeah, those field names I'll probably change. Right, I think get is get, or is there get ref? It's a reference. Ah, right, okay. Wait, what if I would want an owned one? Ah, right, no, I can only do that if it's copied. Then a reference is fine. Yeah, moving only works with if you get like an owned iterator, I guess. Or maybe there's some other, like maybe remove returns the item by value or something. Right, get I. Then we can map that to no, actually not maps, rather unwrap or else with the function. Right, sure. Otherwise, is that a mutable function? Probably. We wanna state.push. Yeah, that might actually not work. Push. I guess state. No. I guess self state new or something. Yeah, that's a lifetime issue, isn't it? Nah, no. That's a lifetime issue. Oh, right. No, that's the wrong state. It'll be right. It'll be E state. Now it's a lifetime issue? No. Ah, right. We push it. Right, push doesn't return a reference. State.state.last dot unwrap. Ooh, does that work out lifetime wise? That would be nice. We need it mutably. Right, last mute. Declared as mutable. Right, the item needs to be flex content. Right, those should be cheap too. Like we need to produce those like over and over again. But in this case it's an integer, so that's relatively cheap. At least no memory allocation. Right. Wait, no, that's an error. Oh, okay, it doesn't work out lifetime wise. First borrow. Wait, let's look at that in cargo output. Can Rust figure this out if I do an iflet some, I don't know, s equals else then we want s. Ooh, okay, that works. Wait, why are those? Am I crazy or are those indented? Alright. Let's just do a format. Yeah, the format like limit doesn't really work out great if there's those generated type info things. Sometimes they're somewhat annoying. Wait, you can toggle type Rust. Right, those. Looks much more compact, but you don't see the types right away, so I don't know. Trade-off. Right. Is that actually just enough, maybe? Text box content. Right, what does list content currently assume? Flex item. No, right, okay, so we need to change that. I think that was more just a shortcut last time to right. So maybe none of, well, we can leave the macro, I guess. Wait, no. This construction. Right, these are all like expressions for. So if this thing just requires so like my initial idea was for this to require or to get a list of things that implement into flex item or into flex content, but this whole expression thing won't work because there's no way to implement into flex item for this, right? Because this is a checkbox expression. So this is an expression. It needs to somehow this needs to be called, and we can't do that if, or we don't want the user to have to do that manually. So yeah, I don't know how the iter thing will work. All right, how do we? So I don't want to focus on syntax too much, but that is a bit of a problem here. Is there any way type inference could cover this? Right, so we have ident. Well, ident we just pass on, so there's certainly no way to infer that, but maybe the type. I don't think so. No, that's pretty much static, so yeah, that is a problem. But not well. I guess it's also a problem because inside the iterator we also want do we want to use this inside the iterator or actually something different? We still, well, I guess separate separate expressions are a bit less of a problem because it's not like if we're iterating over a list, like one item needs to be able to access the others, although maybe, but not generally though. So what if we map? We maybe could, in theory, map to widgets directly instead of flex contents. By the way, this is still misnamed. Is that even a word? Misnamed? I don't know. This should be. Ooh, let's see if renaming works for macros. I need to say it does seem to work. Cool. So I guess the iterator would maybe have to be like a special case in the macro instead of, well, it would be cool in general to be able to allow like any custom list content, but yeah, I don't know. I think I'll have to look up how that's generally done. I don't have too much experience with macros, but from what I've seen, I think it should be possible. Quite a lot should be possible with just declarative macros. Alright, I don't think I have enough time to figure out the solution right now, but we can try whether a single like just an iter thing will work. Yeah. So, by the way, another concern is obviously you'd still wanna. Yeah, no, you'd have the whole params, right? So you could actually access the whole. Wait, no. You'd have to build the iter from the params. So yeah, I think I'll have to see how to actually build that out. So yeah, let's just test if we can get this to run, and I think then I'll wrap this up. So let's see. Let's comment this out, and now we can, instead of that, we can yeah, let's just make this pop for now. Iter flexcontent. Right, so let's start with a range. But is a range itself an iter, or no, a range itself isn't an iter. Or is it? Oh, yes, it is. So I guess if you call next, then it'll then just be a range of it'll just be a range of like the remaining stuff. Interesting. So if I have 0 to 7, Then it'll be 1 to 7 if I call next once. Right, so let's do text. Wait, no, we need, so I guess flex item, and flex item we do params is my state. Right. Then I can do text box params dot a. Wait, autocomplete worked here? Interesting. What else does text box require? Just content. All right. We need to borrow that. Okay. Cargo run text box. All right, so that works. Okay, that's cool. Yeah, all right. I think I'll end it here. And yeah, probably until next time, I'll have implemented some iterator or some better thing, but maybe not. I don't know if I'll have time. All right. See ya.